Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Monday, the 18th of August 2025. I am Graham Hughes, and you are watching Morning Brew on Politics Social. Welcome, welcome, one and all. If I have a look at the chat here, we have Diz. Hi, Diz. How you doing? We also have Elle and Chris and Billy in the chat. We've got Liz Allen in there. I can see we've got Sarah Davis, we've got Tripod, we've got Yuri Infectinov. Welcome, welcome, one and all. If you'd like to join our friends in the chat, all you need to do is hit the big juicy subscribe button and wait for 1 minute, and you'll be able to join in with the live chat on the live stream as we stream. So today we're going to obviously be talking about, I'm sorry, but we are going to have to talk about Trump and Ukraine. Trump has openly declared that that Ukraine will never join NATO, and Crimea is gone forever. This isn't peace through strength. This is appeasement, the same sort of appeasement that we saw in the run-up to World War One. And the parallel here is that the US once stood as Europe's ally in World War Two and the Cold War. Today, under Trump, it has become Russia's enabler and a sycophantic, weak enabler of the Russian regime. So, what Trump's actually said, he said there's no NATO for Ukraine, there's no getting Crimea back, some things never change. These are Trump's own words. This is a direct contradiction of international law. Crimea is legally part of Ukraine, no matter how many times Trump or Putin claim otherwise. And Trump's lie that Crimea was given away given away by Obama without a shot being fired is bullshit. In reality, Serhiy Kokorin was shot dead in March 2024 defending a military base. There was a captain, Fedun, who was wounded in the same attack, and Major Stanislav Kakarevsky, he was executed by a Russian soldier in April 2014, and the Ukrainian minesweeper, the Cherkasky, was attacked at sea. Trump is gaslighting history. He's pretending that Russia took Crimea without a fight. And don't forget, Russia didn't just invade Crimea, it also invaded parts of the Donbass region. And in doing so, it not only killed a lot of Ukrainians, they also blew up a Malaysian Airlines jet. It was MH17, I think, that was blown up over Ukraine with a Russian rocket by a Russian separatist, or maybe just a Russian, killing nearly 200 people on board. I'm just gonna check on the dates on that Malaysian airline crash. No, God, MH17. Sorry, I said nearly 200. Sorry, I misspoke. It was nearly 300. It was 298 civilians blown out the sky by the fucking Russians. By the Russians, who are now trying to appease somehow to give them rewards. We're talking about recognizing Palestine, and that's somehow going to be a reward, like for Hamas. It's going to reward terrorism. What's it going to be if we give Putin everything he wants after the slaughter, after the rapes, after the genocide that he has foisted upon the people of Ukraine? Is that not rewarding being a terrorist? Is that not reward? Or does it only work when we're trying to do something in support of Palestine? Is that the only time it works? Anyway, so look, the stakes at the White House today couldn't be bigger. Zelensky is in Washington. He's joined by European leaders. In fact, Keir Starmer is going to be there, Emmanuel Macron, Merz is going to be there, Meloni from Italy is going to be there, Stubb is going to be there, von der Leyen and NATO's Rutte is going to be there as well. The purpose is to prevent Trump from cutting a backroom deal with Putin and Europe and Ukraine's expense. And the timeline on this is, as we were streaming on Friday for the Friday Night Social, those of you watching that might have noticed that, the Trump Putin summit in Anchorage ended without any agreement whatsoever. It was a win for Putin because he got to be normalized, like the Russian state got to be normalized by Trump. Trump got nothing out of it except abject humiliation because the guy couldn't negotiate his way out of a wet paper bag. He thinks he's the deal maker of the century. He never wrote the book, The Art of the Deal. He went bankrupt 6 times. He managed to bankrupt a casino, ladies and gentlemen. A casino. A casino. It's like evil Del Boy Trotter. Do you know what I mean? That's what he is. Evil Del Boy Trotter. He's just trying to, make a quick buck any way he can. On Sunday, Europe's coalition of the willing, as we're calling ourselves, pledged security guarantees for Ukraine. And Trump seemed to back down on this a little bit, or at least one of his representatives did, and said, okay, we might have NATO-style security arrangements in place for Ukraine to stop further Russian aggression. But for Europe, this is about our survival. If Trump redraws the borders of NATO, NATO as well. But if he redraws the borders of Ukraine, don't forget that's redrawing the borders of Europe. So I mean, yeah, it's also, if he does it at Putin's demand, the principle of sovereignty is dead. Like, any country can invade any other country, and as long as they hold a bit of land long enough, they can have it. What a great precedent to set the world. As we've spoken to a few times before. Sorry, Dad's coughing in the background. You all right, Dad? Another week, says Gunny 1982. Hi, Gunny. Thank you for that. That's very awesome of you to be a member for 6 months. If you'd like to join the channel, just hit the join button, and you'll be able to join in with the Discord server, which I will try and spruce up this week if someone reminds me. Martin Harrow. I've stepped into Cat's world. Woke up on Saturday with a big perforation in my right ear. I can't hear a thing. Left ear only hears bass sounds around 30%, so no good for speech. Oh shit, Martin, I'm sorry to hear that, mate. I hope they can sort that out for you. Man, I don't like to complain when I've got my ears are blocked with like wax or something. Compared with Cat, it's nothing, but it's really, really uncomfortable not being able to hear properly. It's kind of it's a weird pain. It's a weird pain, even though it's not painful as in if you get scratched or punched or whatever. It's a different type of pain. It's like a discomfort. It's like a certain discomfort that comes from your ears not working. So I hope the subtitles are working for you this morning, Martin. And I'm sorry to hear that, mate. That really fucking sucks. Ms. Paula Thomas, think, how does lone separatist get a rocket and the Russian government fired it? Yeah. I mean, that's the point. Like a lone separatist having a rocket that could take out a jumbo jet. Yeah, with 300 people on board. 300 civilians murdered by Putin's regime. Don't forget the British citizen, Dawn Sturgis, who was also murdered by Russia's regime on British soil. On British soil. Murdered. And no, that Trump saying, oh no, we should bring them in from the cold. We should bring them in. I don't think they should. Gary says, I'm sorry, I don't know all the new names since YouTube had a big reset. Well, most of the names are the same. A lot of them are. But Viper Scott is Alice Sturm. Nick is Nick. Diz from 66 is Diz. Martin Harrow is Martin Harrow. Chris C is Chris C. So yeah, some people have still kind of got the same name there, but not everyone. Anyway, so these security guarantees that were talked about yesterday, we don't know if this is real or rubbish or whatever. Like Trump envoy Steve Witkoff, who seems to be about as much use as a marzipan dildo, he claims that Putin has agreed to robust security guarantees. All right, right? And these would be Article 5 like, but not actual NATO. Article 5 being the bit of the NATO treaty that says that if one place is attacked, then it's seen as an attack on all of them. One member of NATO is attacked, it's seen as an attack on all of them. And the thing is, there's two historical precedents here. There's one, the Budapest Memorandum in 1994, that was signed by the US, the UK, and Russia. It guaranteed Ukraine's borders in exchange for nuclear disarmament. There was another treaty, I think in 1997, and that was to do with respecting the territories and the borders of the CIS, which is the what came after the USSR, the 15 countries that used to be part of the USSR, and Ukraine and Russia had an agreement that they would respect each other's boundaries. They would, trade and cooperation and friendship and all this bullshit. And it was bollocks. Russia completely went back on it, 100%. And so when people talk about, oh, it's all NATO's fault, people who don't know much about anything, they go, oh, it's NATO's fault that this all happened. No. NATO exists because Russia, the Russian Empire, is so militarily aggressive and so fucking untrustworthy that any of the treaties we've ever had with Russia aren't worth the paper that they're written on. Any of the treaties that Russia's had with any countries are not worth the paper they're written on. Just ask countries like in Central Asia, like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan and Turkmenistan, how much, or ask the people of Belarus how much Moscow likes to interfere in their country and what they want to do, and tell them what to do, even though it's a different country, apparently. So yeah, that promise in the Budapest Memorandum was shredded in 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea. So if Russia ignored guarantees then, why should we trust them now? And a Trump guarantee, Trump Stakes, Trump University, Trump Tower, Trump Casino, yeah, not worth the paper it's written on. Like, it just, yeah, Trump guarantee, Russian guarantee, neither of those are guarantees. But it's funny because there is some sort of historic parallel between Russia Putin getting away with stuff and Trump getting away with stuff all their lives. I don't think it's more of a state thing in Russia, just Russia getting away with doing really horrible things and not actually really being punished for it very much. At least the people in power not getting punished for it. But Trump, who seems to be trying to turn the White House into the Kremlin, sort of the same disgusting golden ornaments everywhere. This pathetic little homage to the monarchies of the past or something. It's just really gaudy and gross, despicable. It's like it's like wearing golden Crocs. Like that's how cool they think they are. They're like, yeah, check out my gold Crocs, baby. Oh yeah. It's kind of embarrassing. It's embarrassing on so many levels. But yeah, it's interesting the parallels between Putin and Trump in terms of them getting away with stuff and not being taken to task and not being hauled over the coals for breaking the law in their own countries and breaking international law. And it just shows what happens when you don't stand up to bullies. They just get worse. They just get worse. The Crimea matters because of Black Sea access, the naval base at Sevastopol, and it's become a symbol of Putin's gathering the Russian land's imperial project, which isn't going to stop with Ukraine. If he is allowed to continue, it will continue to Moldova, it will continue to Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. I guarantee it. And in 1991, Crimea voted for independence along with the rest of Ukraine. That's important. They were given a referendum. They could have said, no, let's stay with Russia, but they didn't, or let's join Russia, because historically Crimea was part of Russia. But it was part of Ukraine, and then the USSR came along and they said it's part of Russia, and it was part of the Russian Soviet Republic, and it was given to the Ukrainian Soviet Republic by Khrushchev, I think, one of the Russian leaders, and he as a gift, as a thing to say, oh, we're all brothers and sisters together in the struggle against capitalism, the struggle against people like Trump. Oh, how the tables have turned. Most people were sort of happy with staying with most people were happy with staying with Ukraine rather than going back into the Russian fold when they had a referendum in 1991. And in 2014, which is 11 years ago now, Jesus, Russia staged a fake referendum in Crimea under military occupation, which said that they want to be part of Russia now, surprisingly. It's like, hello, do you want to be part of Russia? No. Bang, dead. Person next to them, do you want to be part of Russia? Yes, Russia, yeah, definitely, one of them. Just like, well, the way Christianity went around the world. Do you want to be, are you a Christian? No. Bang, dead. And the person next to them, are you a Christian? Yes, totally. That thing that you just said, I'm that. Whatever it is you just said, I'm definitely that thing. Yeah. So anyway, for Zelensky, well, in 2025, Trump is saying that Ukraine must drop its claim entirely, overriding Ukraine's own constitution, which forbids ceding territory. This isn't something that would ever be up to Zelensky. This is something that would have to be decided by the parliament, because they do have a democracy there, unlike in America, where it's just, anything goes. You can get the army to turn up in the capital, just take over. It's fine. Put up big security fences around the White House because you're staying there. Spend $500 million building a fucking ballroom because, you're not going, are you? He's not leaving. Trump's not leaving. The only way Trump is leaving the White House is in a fucking box. I guarantee it. I'll stake my reputation, such that it is, on that. So, for Zelensky, giving up Crimea would not only be treason, but it would be politically impossible. It would need a vote by Parliament and possibly an amendment. Well, it would need an amendment to the Constitution, and you know how hard it is to amend constitutions, unless you're a criminal dictator. If they want to go down that route, they'll have to have a referendum, which I doubt the people of Ukraine are going to go, yeah, let's give up this land that we've been fighting over for the last 11 years. Starmer, Macron, Merz, Maloney, van der Leyen, and others have flown to Washington, D.C. to stop Trump and Putin dictating terms without Ukraine, to show unity, to show that Europe will not abandon Ukraine. So they're going with Zelensky to offer, be there to support Zelensky so he doesn't get ambushed again. Did you see how... It's all right, Dad. Did you see how fawning that horrible little... What's his name? The Trump man was to Putin. Did you see how fawning he was? Like, oh, yes, Putin, yes. Whatever you say, Mr. Putin, yes. He let Putin do most of the talking in the press conference afterwards when no questions were asked. 3/4 of the talking was done by Putin, and then Trump just spoke at the very end to go, oh, nothing was agreed. How embarrassing for Trump. But the difference between that and the way they treated Zelensky, where they had a group of gobshites, these billionaire tech bro gobshites and Fox News hosts in this room, just ambushing Zelensky back in the end of February this year. And the night and day the difference between the attitude, because one guy is a military dictator who's murdered tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people because he just loves killing. And one is a guy who's trying to protect his own country from a imperialistic military invasion. Anyway, so we need to be there. We need to be there with our fellow member of Europe to show unity, to show that Europe will not abandon Ukraine. But Europe is dependent on US security. Without NATO, how strong are these guarantees going to be? Without Trump allowing American forces, there's a lot of integration in NATO, and it's not as simple as going, well, we've got more people in the armies in our various countries in Europe. So do we need America? Well, at the moment, yes, because a lot of the intelligence systems, a lot of the weapon systems, a lot of the computing systems, they're all interlinked and they need servicing, they need updates, they need all this kind of stuff, which is going to come from America. And if Trump decides to backheel that and say, right, you're not getting anything anymore, which he's very likely to do, we're in real trouble. We are in real trouble. So yes, Britain's promise that they want to have a reassurance force to secure Ukraine after the war. I mean, yeah, but what is that force? Who will supply the troops? How permanent is it? Vagueness is the enemy of credibility, I would say, in this situation. But I guess it's the only way you can be, isn't it? Vague, because we don't know. We just do not know. We just do not know. SG says the White House has said that Zelensky has to wear a suit to today's meeting. Did they dictate what Putin could wear? Did they fuck? I hate them. I hate them all. Like, honestly, when all those people go on the day that it happens, bloody yeah, it's going to be a big, beautiful day, in it, isn't it? We're all looking forward to it, aren't we? The big, beautiful day. The sense of relief. It'll be like, it'll be the sense of relief that you have when all your debts are cleared. Do you know what I mean? That weight off your shoulders. I don't know what that's like, but I imagine it's nice. Talking of clearing me debts. Hello, Paula Thomas. Thank you very much so much for the £5 super chat, the first super chat of the week. It's very kind of you. Thank you, Paula. I'm in Liverpool, by the way. If you hadn't already noticed, looking after me dad. Are you alright, Dad? Yeah, he's alright, I think. George only, thank you very much. Oh, sorry, I didn't read Paula's message. Sorry, Paula. Hey, I find Maloney interesting. She's a lot less Corbyn like Orban. Oops. She's a lot less Orban-like than I thought she would be. Yeah, true. And yeah, she's still not on the side of goodness, I don't think. And then George only, thank you very much. There was never the real Putin. That was never the real Putin. He has doubles. maybe. But yeah, just it was a disgusting display of sycophancy. Like, it was just to see the leader of the free world fawning over some military dictator from some third world basket case with a GDP per capita, somewhere around Nicaragua. Just like, what are you doing? Why are you getting down on your knees and worshipping this guy like you fucking Wayne's World meeting Alice Cooper? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, mate, it's just pure cringe, pure cringe. Wanted to mention Zelensky but afraid of correcting, says Mr. Tisk. Joanna, you got a source for that? I can find loads of comments saying White House said it, but nothing that actually says they said it. And Chris C. There's The Guardian, although I may have read the story, appears there is 3 states sending National Guard to DC. My apologies. Yeah, there's 3 states sending their... 3 states that aren't Washington, D.C. sending troops to Washington, D.C. at Trump's behest. Don't forget, Trump is also... he's also working on his ICE people, his enforcement people, who are going to, attack any kind of immigrants, anyone who's not white, for a couple of years. And then when it comes to the next election, the next presidential election, when he declares a national emergency and suspends elections, anyone who speaks out will be shot dead by ICE, because he'll have tens of thousands of ICE agents all over the country in every state. Well, this is the thing. They wouldn't be needed in every state, don't forget. They'll only be needed in the states that are not very Trumpy, and that's about half of them. So 25 states will require some kind of ICE, National Guard, grouping of Gestapo-like gobshites. If you can, if you're in the States, get out. I'm serious about this. Get out. What is being put together there in plain sight, with the National Guard being deployed in Washington DC, which he can only do for 30 days unless he then has to declare a national emergency, which he will. There's nothing stopping him, because the guardrails have been absolutely stripped away. There's no way that anyone can stop Trump doing what he's doing. And, well, there is. There is one way, but it's not very orthodox. It's not going through the correct procedures, if you know what I mean. Andrew, Purple Face crying. It's not Zelensky. Can we have an I was wrong and I accept responsibility? No, sorry, I don't actually have that animation with me here in Liverpool. It's on a hard disk somewhere. I'd have to dig it out. I'd have to try and find it. Let me just have a look, see if I've got it on the setup I've got for Friday Night Social now. I haven't. Sorry. I will endeavour to add some of the daft things that we've got on the other channels. Oh, I don't even have Squeaky Tank on here. Oh, that's sad. I thought I had Squeaky Tank. Where's Squeaky Tank? Oh well, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, yep. It's SG. I saw a screenshot of a White House message. Might have been a tweet. Can't remember why. On my Blue Sky feed, it was from an account that was legit. I'll see if I can. Yeah. And then what was it that what was Zelensky? I've missed it. Sorry, I don't know if I fucked up. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, it's early in the week. I'm sure it'll happen again. Yes. If you want pure, absolutely everything correct on these shows, I'd have to do a pre-record and script it, which means that you wouldn't be able to be involved. So you got to take the rough with the smooth. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, Trump, Trump the appeaser. Trump and his obsession with the word deal. He treats Ukraine like a real estate contract, not a sovereign nation. And saying Crimea is gone, get over it. I mean, what a child. What an absolute child. The language of a landlord evicting tenants, not a president defending democracy or the Western alliance. His rapport with Putin, as described as obvious by diplomats, shows where his loyalties really lie. And by ceding NATO membership and Crimea, Trump gives Putin everything he wants without a single concession, without any punishment for the damage he's caused someone else's country, for the carnage that he's caused, for the murders that he's committed, for the people's lives that have been torn apart, for the buildings he's destroyed, from the infrastructure he's destroyed. Nothing. Is he going to have to pay reparations under Trump now? And yeah, we talked about this before. In the 1930s, Europe gave Hitler the Sudetenland, in what's now the Czech Republic, in order to avoid war. The results? More war. Same here, giving Putin Crimea and saying that putting a veto on the ascension to NATO for Ukraine doesn't bring peace. It just rewards aggression, as anyone else can see. And security guarantees don't stop tanks. Only alliances and deterrence do. You see this with the Budapest memorandum. You got to have a bit more than a piece of paper. You got to have a bit more than a contract. You've got to have something concrete to say, if you attack Latvia, then we're all going to attack you. We're all going to strike back, because that's the deal with NATO in Article 5, which has only ever been instigated once in the history of NATO. One time that Article 5 was activated, and it was after September the 11th. It was on behalf of America. The rest of us came in on behalf of America, and we spent billions on America's stupid, unwinnable, daft military adventures in Afghanistan and in Iraq. We did that for America, and this is the thanks we get. This is the thanks we get off these monsters, of these absolute muppets, of these scumbags. And the fact that America went so nuts about the Red Scare back in the 50s, you had the MacArthur witch hunts and the McCarthy witch hunts, and you saw famous Hollywood actors and directors and producers and scriptwriters being hounded out of Hollywood for being too socialist, being too communist, once attending a communist meeting. Probably the most famous of all was Charlie Chaplin. After the Red Scare, he never made a movie again in America. And he came back in 1970 to accept a Lifetime Achievement Oscar. And he was in tears because finally he was accepted back into this industry that he helped launch. Don't forget how massive Charlie Chaplin was in the 1920s and 30s. It can't be overstated. And he wasn't just a comedy actor. He was a director. He was a producer. He was one of the establishing artists of United Artists, the studio. And yeah, for him to be ostracized and exiled from Hollywood, he went to live in Switzerland for the rest of his life because of the Red Scare. And now we're turning around and going, oh, well, actually, no, Moscow had the right idea. Yeah. What we want is everyone to be living grubby little lives where they're just about surviving. There's not about living. It's about working for the state, working for the money men, and all the money men have all the money in the world, and you get nothing. You just get a raw potato to eat each day, and you should be grateful for it, while these oligarchs are living it up in palaces, in gaudy fucking palaces and bunkers in the on islands in the Pacific, where they've got video games and video streams and I don't know, 24-hour porn. I don't know what they have in these places, but these people are absolute scum, and they've looked at the Soviet Union in the 1950s and gone, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. They've not been as straightforward in explaining it to people as they were in the Soviet era, which was just, you are shit, you have nothing, we have everything. They've been clever about it. They're giving people the idea that they might be one of the oligarchs one day. You won't. You might be one of the billionaires one day. You won't. You might have your children go to private school one day. You won't. But you might win the lottery. But you probably won't. It's a 1 in 30 million chance. Somebody's got to win it. Yeah. Some people win the lottery when they're born, because they're born to incredibly rich parents. And that allows you to get away with murder. Well, it also allows you to hog all the top jobs. Because there's only like 3 presenting slots on Match of the Day, and 2 of them are taken by people who go to private school or went to private school. It should be there's 18 slots, and 1 is taken by someone who went to private school. Anyway, so yeah, the lessons from history are really, really, really obvious, and the idea of a new world order being built on this sort of Trump-Putin alliance is chilling. It's not peace. It's Pax Kremlinka. Just to get a new word into the lexicon then. Let's say Pax Moscovia. Can we say Pax Moscovia? Does that work? Yeah. And as it happens, even as talks are happening right now, the human cost is evident. Russia is killing civilians right now. Kharkiv, a drone in Kharkiv killed 4 yesterday, including a child. Zaporizhzhia bombings have killed and wounded even more. Trump claims Zelensky can end the war immediately if he wants to. What, by surrendering to Russia? But the thing is, that won't end the war, because the people of Ukraine do not want to be ruled by Russia, so they'll keep fighting. It's not up to... And I don't think Trump understands the difference between the oligarchy that is Russia, where, yes, Putin can make demands and everyone has to, salute to his tune or they get thrown out of a window, and a democracy like Ukraine, where they have a parliament and they have to agree on stuff, and if they want to change the constitution, they've got to have a referendum, or at least a procedure that they have to go through in order to do that. So yeah, I don't think Trump understands much. Guy's a fucking idiot. But yeah, the cruelty of blaming the victim. This is victim blaming. This is the biggest and most outrageous piece of victim blaming. I suppose you could argue that in Gaza there's a lot of victim blaming going on as well, but this is just very typical of that type of man. Deny, attack, reverse, victim and offender. Yep, that's what they do, and they get away with it. It's the story of narcissism, isn't it? The narcissist's prayer. The blaming the victim while civilians are dying daily under Russian attack. Russians aren't dying. I mean, not even Russians. Russians aren't even dying on the front lines. It's all people from bloody North Korea and sub-Saharan Africa. They're the ones dying for Russia. People from Iran. And Trump's peace means that Ukraine is carved up. Europe is sidelined. International law is shredded, and the US was once leader of the free world is now the junior partner in the USSR 2.0. How pathetic, how craven, how cringeworthy. And Zelensky faces an impossible choice. He want to compromise with Putin or risk losing America's support altogether. For Europe and the world, this is a wake-up call. Relying on Trump's America is a road to ruin and something that we have to move away from, which I know we have been moving away from for a very, very long time. Chaplin's speech from the great dictator was prescient, says Nick Chat. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Charlie Chaplin was also a talented composer. He wrote Petula Clark's number one, This Is My Song. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's quite awesome. Why have all the flags disappeared from emotes list? Have they? That's interesting. So I'll tell you something. I was a couple of minutes late getting started today. And it wasn't because I got up late. It wasn't because I had to drop the kids to school. I'm in Liverpool and they're on holiday anyway. No, I was late because I had an image in my head that I wanted for the thumbnail. I wanted a torn American flag with a bear's paw, like tearing the flag. And I tried to get AI to do it and it just refused. I tried ChatGPT, I tried Adobe Firefly, and neither of them were like, no, we can't render this. We can't. It was just US flag being torn by a bear's paw. I was like, no. So I had to comp it together myself. I was like, white cloth being torn by a, and then I comp the flag onto. Anyway, funny Trump's way of war ending is that Ukraine bow out to win, then say Starmer wouldn't have won World War II. No one would win if they follow Trump logic. Is Trump logic even a thing? No. Trump and logic are strange bedfellows, to say the least. Jazz, mispronouncing someone's name can be forgiven a mistake, but to continue do it is disrespect. Please pronounce Zelensky's name correctly. Sorry, unless you can actually tell me, Jazz, how to say it correctly, then I'll say it the way that you think it should be said. Fuck. Trans rights, not turf shite, says Hell. Yes, couldn't agree more. And Vendetta says trans exists. Absolutely. Something we're going to make a big point about at the Labour Party conference next week. Len. Okay, all right, veg pie. I'll call him Len from now on. Anyway, so so hopefully the people from Europe who are going over there are going to be are going to have some way of. I mean, it would be nice to see people joining up. The European contingent joining up with Zelensky, so Len, joining up with Len, and essentially just so I'm completely lost my thread on this shit. I'm gonna have to. I don't have a pen. Oh well, didn't come prepared today, did I? Bloody hell. Do I have a pen in my pocket? Right. Zelensky, not Zelensky, says Zelensky, not Zelensky. I can't even read that. Okay. No, that's the medical thing. Right, just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna just give me 1 sec. Correct. Okay. All right. I'm just googling it. Pen. Says Veg Pie. Sorry, Google's just giving me a spinning circle at the moment. Great. Cool. Oh, there we go. I spelled pronunciation wrong. It's in that thing where it's got like a it's got like a U and a dot above it, and an L, and then a dash, and then a T, and then an E backwards, and then a dash, and then a M, and then an E backwards. I'm not a linguist. I don't know what the E backwards pronounce. Let's say Volodymyr Zelensky in English. Pronunciation of Vladimir Zelensky. Maybe Zelensky. But no one. Oh, just phonetic. Fun. This is fun, isn't it? Oh, for fuck's sake. Can't it just. Alright, here we go. Vladimir Zelensky. I thought I was saying. I'm going to write it on my hand. Jesus shitting Christ. Zelensky. So I thought I was saying it. Okay. Right. Sorry, I've forgotten where I was. I might have to let's talk about something else. Let's abandon this talk because I'm gonna fuck it up and I'll probably just upset people, and I don't really want to upset people at the moment. So let's have a look at the papers. Should we go to papers? I've not got this set up properly, so you're gonna have to give me a sec while I get it set up. Fucking hell. Okay. Dun dun dun. Let's see if this works. Ooh, it might. Oh God, advert just came up. So I'm just trying to set this up. It's really difficult to do this on one screen because I'm on my laptop. Obviously, I'm in Liverpool. Oh, I suppose I could plug in. I could steal my mum's monitor from the other room, couldn't I? Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Well, she might get annoyed with me. She might be like, Graham, why are you stealing my mum? Okay. I think that's nearly all right. Yeah, that looks all right. That looks kind of all right. So we'll head over to the papers. Here we go. Europe takes a stand. PM joins leaders and the leader of Ukraine for crunch talks with Trump over Putin's peace officer. We've got your back is the message to the leader of Zelensky. I don't know why I said it wrong. The Ukrainian president will attend the summit with Trump. Okay, so we've been talking about that. Terence Stamp is dead. That really sucks. Why is Terence Stamp dead and Murdoch isn't? Am I allowed to say that? I just did. Daily Express. Britain's 10 million junk food addicts called to classify unhealthy eating as substance abuse. 10 million people in the UK are hooked on junk food, research has revealed. Shocked experts want World Health Organization chiefs to include food addiction as a form of substance abuse, alongside deadly hard drugs such as ketamine and MDMA. Ooh, okay, well, right. So does that mean that they're going to regard people who deal junk food as drug dealers? Is that how that's going to work? Is that how it's going to work? Hey, is it? Okay, that's interesting. Bye, McDonald's. I think it's because you keep saying Zelensky, not Zelensky. Zelensky. Fucking hell. I can't believe that bothers people. It's not done maliciously. I'm sorry. I'm not having a good time with it this week, and you're gonna have to be a little bit more gentle with me because if I fuck up on something, I probably I shouldn't be doing these shows at the moment. But just bear with me. Just bear with me if I fuck up. I don't mean any disrespect to you or to the leader of Ukraine. I didn't realise I was saying it wrong. I was doing a spoonerism, I think. Thank you very much to Umka. Hope I'm saying that right. For the 10 euros. Europe shall get rid of the illusion that the USA is a free democratic country. It has never truly been and was always on the edge of fascism. We must treat the US as a potential threat to us. Yeah, couldn't agree more. And thank you very much for the super chat. America is a potential threat. They do not have our best interests at heart. And we need to just steal all their tech. That's it. We need to copy all their tech. We need to just Control C and Control V Twitter and just make a European version of Twitter, and with European safeguards in place, and to do with data security and keeping people away from trolls. And if anyone is if anyone is sorry, there's a big bang outside. I don't know what the hell that was. Hope it wasn't a crash. Yeah. Whatever I was saying. Junk food is pure laziness most of the time, says Paula Thomas. I disagree, respectfully, but thank you for the super chat. I think that junk food is pushed on people, and really, really pushed on people, and it's not necessarily laziness. If people are living in poverty, junk food is sometimes all you can afford, both in terms of money and time. And it's not being lazy. It's just that cooking good food takes a while. I mean, I think in my own head, it takes me. I can rustle up a decent, chili con carne or spaghetti bolognese or something in half an hour. I could do that in half an hour, but it's not. That's me thinking, well, it only takes 20 minutes to do the rice, or it only takes 10 minutes to do the pasta, and then but you've got to cut up all the vegetables, you've got to get all the pots and pans, you've got to heat them up, you've got to do all that, and then you've got to serve it, and then you've got to clean up everything afterwards, and you don't think of the cleaning up afterwards. This is the thing with, you get these cookbooks, it's like 10-minute recipes, and it's like never includes the fact that if you're not got that much money, you're not going to have a dishwasher. So, and even if you do these days, you might not want to turn it on because it uses a lot of energy. So yeah, you've got to wash the dishes. So it's that time, and if you've got kids and you've got to drop them off at clubs after school, or you've got you're working several jobs, so you're working during the day, you're back home to give the kids the food, and then at 7 o'clock you start your shift at the pub or wherever else you work, and your second job or your third job. You just don't have time for it, and that's why junk food is so convenient. These ultra processed food that you can just throw in the microwave for 3 minutes, ping, it's done, and sometimes comes in its own tray, so you just throw that away when you're done with it. And people will sacrifice everything for convenience. They will sacrifice their morals, they will sacrifice decency, they will sacrifice their own health for convenience. And unfortunately, the way that the world is set up is that it's just more convenient to make ultra processed food, which is shit. And I think that there should be a big push by the government to have, everyone who goes to the supermarket once a week at the supermarket that is your local supermarket, you get a bag of fruit and a bag of veg for free every time. Every week you get one a week, and you turn up, bag of fruit, bag of veg, and that's just given out to everyone. And it's food. It's food, and the fact that we don't do this is it's really shit, because it means that the best that people can get is the junk food, and I can see why it's easy to go for the junk food option. If you want to take the kids out for a nice treat, you take them to a fancy restaurant, you're going to be spending 80 quid, 100 quid. It's going to be 20, 25 pound each. There's 4 of you. You go to McDonald's, you can get everyone fed for like 16 quid or something. Tim, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Also ban Roblox. Yes, I'll be up for that. Free shelp. Mike says mispronouncing someone's name and annoying a few viewers is the least of your worries at the moment. Yeah, but I like to get things right, and it's just a bit dysregulating. That's all. Like I say, we've had a bit of a shit time of it. Anyway, but life goes on, although sometimes it doesn't, I guess. The Times here. Zelensky wants security guarantees before a deal. President supported by 7 European leaders in Trump talks as bloodshed in Ukraine continues. And then you've got this firefighter here who's in... it's not a firefighter. He is an actual No, he looks like rescue, doesn't he? This is in Donetsk. There was intense fighting in towns such as in, I'm not going to attempt to say that, in Donetsk, as both sides raced to secure territory in the area. Zelensky. And then we got in the news at the bottom here. Is this new? Have they always had this? Greet to beat thieves. Work from home, that's hotel. Hotels are cashing in the boom and staff working remotely. Eagle could fly again. Golden Eagles could return to England after a study said there could be enough sites to support them. That'll be really cool. Strike for hostages. Families of Israeli hostages held by Hamas have demanded an end to the war in Gaza with a nationwide strike as the military planned another push into the territory. So they're clearly not listening to the families of the Israeli hostages. Tesla has slashed its prices. British motorists can now lease a Tesla electric vehicle for just over half of what it cost a year ago. I wonder why. I wonder why they're giving it away. And then ease expectations. And then this is about Abechi. Ease is set to play in Crystal Palace's Conference League playoff. Amazing. I probably pronounced that wrong. It's EZE. If someone wants to tell me how I'm supposed to say that, that'd be great. Princess Andre on Privacy, Pain and Life with Katie Price. I don't know who Princess Andre is, but okay. Man United 0, Arsenal 1 at the very top there. Gunners off to a winning start, it says. So I shouldn't laugh. We've got Terence Stamp there on the front cover. Face of 60s British cinema. And Superman, he played General Zod in Superman. But I think his role in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert was his high watermark. And I recommend anyone to watch that movie because it is absolutely fabulous. UK and EU at Zelensky's side for talks with Trump. Again, talking about what we were talking about this morning. IDF prepares to force 1 million people out of Gaza City. But it's not ethnic cleansing, honest gov. I swear it's not. It's not. Oh God. I finally learned what to eat and drink to ease the worst menopause symptoms from Mariella Frostrup. And hopefully there's some good tips there, I guess. D-Day at the White House, screams the Daily Fail here. And Starmer, Zelensky and EU leaders to meet Trump today. But will he listen to a single word they say? I doubt it. And dead at 87 are the world's the most beautiful man in the world. Oh, Terence. He's in Star Wars Episode 1 as well. He played Chancellor Valorum, was his name? I can't remember. This was a long time ago. You know, Star Wars Episode 1 came out 26 years ago. Terence Stamp, the accidental 60s superstar. And just to bring me... Oh, thank you. I got a super chat. No, I didn't. Oh. You know, I often go on about private schools. Loads of people are going to turn off now. Oh, it's going to go off private schools again. Just want to say, Terence Stamp, just like Michael Caine, just like Sean Connery, just like the Beatles and the Stones, didn't go to private school. Because we had more social mobility in the 1960s than we do in the 2020s. Work that one out. Work that one out. Europe tells Trump don't give in to Putin. Iran uses leaked kill list to hunt MI6 spies. Great news. Well done for that list. Is anyone going to jail for that list going out? Is that happening? Serial shoplifters being spared prison in record numbers. Yeah. Because I don't think the shoplifters should go to prison necessarily. I think they should be given help. Anyway, Normal People author to fund Palestine action. Tory WhatsApp war over migrant policy. Tim Stanley being a dickhead. Farage is not selling out. He is preparing reform for government. Oh, fucking kill me now. Hostage family protest brings Israel to a halt. And United manager backs blundering goalkeeper. Manchester United lost. What a shame. What a shame. And there's a picture there of someone twatting around on on a surfboard there. That's Emmanuel Macron there on his. It's not a surfboard, that is it? It's like a, what is that? A hydrofoil something weirdness. I don't know. Anyway, Eva is so hot apparently, according to the Star, and all guns blazing, and horse racing to strike over Chancellor's hated betting tax. They're going after the gambling companies with the new betting tax, which I really, really approve of, because I think that it should cost more to gamble and it should be better regulated. Because people get addicted and then they get in debt and then they take themselves out. So I want that to stop. So yeah, more restrictions on gambling. I don't think they should be allowed to advertise for gambling. I don't think they should be allowed to advertise for the Paddy Power and all that lot. I don't think they should be allowed to do it. It should be banned, along with cigarettes and drugs. I mean, the advertising of it. Don't ban it entirely, because then it'll go underground. But the gambling people make shitloads of money. I don't think you pay VAT on gambling, do they? That's interesting, isn't it? Umka, thank you very much for the €5. I bet that Trump will rush to call Putin after the meeting with Zelensky and Europeans. Vlad, they told me bad things. Vlad, tell me I'm the best. You could imagine that, couldn't you? What a dickhead. What an arsehole. God, a piece of shit. I can't believe that he's fucking the president again after what he did. And they're like, yeah, we want more of that. Okay, so Ellie Muir there saying, what we are lacking this August is the usual song of the summer to cheer us all up. That is very true, although there is a new album dropping by Sabrina Carpenter very soon, so maybe there'll be something there to cheer us up. In fact, the Sofa song by Wolf Alice, I think that's been my song of the summer. Nice and relaxing and chilled, and just, let me lie on the sofa. But we haven't got like a poppy. Yeah, I get that. We haven't got like a poppy espresso song or Pink Pony Club or something that's dominating the tunes this summer. Starmer heads to Washington to support Zelensky. Key European leaders, including PM, will accompany the Ukrainian leader at the White House meetings with Donald Trump in the hope of avoiding the unpleasant showdown when he last visited the Oval Office. That is the hope there. And then we've got the iPaper here. Students face yearly tuition fee hikes to bail out struggling universities. Hang on. We've had that. I think that... Is that... No, that's Friday's. Ha 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 ha. In your face. I spotted that. That was Friday's headline. That's not today's. I don't know what's that doing in today's list. But then tomorrow's papers.co.uk do provide this service free of charge, so I can't be too shitty to them. But yeah, that was Friday's newspaper. Anyway, wildfire alert. No relief from the Spanish heat. I've seen footage of these fires. These fires in Spain, and the wind is just, you can see it's just like blowing an absolute hurricane, and it's just making it all so much worse. And this is going to become the new normal, thanks to the filthy foreign oil companies, the foreign slime companies that want to make loads of money out of burning fossil fuels, burning the filthiest, disgustingest fuel imaginable. Right, Zelensky. I mean, you know what, though? I mean, you can criticise me for not saying his name right. God, sorry, left the super chat animation on. But I wish the newspapers would agree with each other how many Y's his name has. But unfortunately, his name's in Cyrillic, isn't it? It's Cyrillic alphabet, so you've got to kind of like change it into what it should be in English. But I don't know what a double Y is. Like, what different sound is it from ski? Like, why would it not be ski? Would it be ski? Do you say an extra E on the end? Is it Zelensky E? I don't know why it's got two Y's. The only thing I can think of is like the planet that Chewbacca comes from, which is called like Kashyyyk, and it's got three Y's in a row, but he's an alien. And a big teddy bear. Zelensky and European allies seek security guarantees in Trump talks. Bloc leaders fly to Washington. Rubio say concessions needed. Fears of frontline pressure. And then we have Chinese investors seek ways to sidestep Beijing tax crackdowns on foreign gains. So there you go. As of course they're going to do. Of course you're going to look ways to not have to pay stupid bloody import duties and tariffs and daft things like that. And this is the thing that when we leave the EU or Trump put tariffs on stuff, the big boys are always all right. The big supermarkets, they're all right. It's the little people. It's the little people. It's us. It's the people just trying to, make ends meet. That got well and truly screwed over. Oh, Joanna Hammond has said I've got another PayPal super chat. Oh, thank you. I'll just quickly look that up. Oh, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Oh, yay. Oh, thank you. My attempt at your thumbnail using GGP as you tried to, lol. So thanks very much, Joanna, for that. Yeah, it wouldn't allow me. It wouldn't allow me to make it. It said it was too political or something. And then I tried to get around it. It gives you advice on like how to get around it on ChatGPT. And every time I said, okay, we'll do that then, he went, oh, I can't do that either. Maybe we could... You're right, Dad. I might have to go in a minute and attend to me dad. But yeah. But Pete Denkart says, hey, Graham, my music recommendation for today is Lovers and Fighters by the Temperance Movement, a gorgeous song. That's good. And Nick and Diff says, when I lived in a flat, I could hear my neighbours arguing about money issues. Used to regularly see the bloke heading to Ladbrokes, and when he clocked me, he tried to hide such a damaging addiction. Yeah, absolutely. I tax him to the pipsqueak. Also, great way of making loads of money for the government. Treat gambling and betting like smoking. Yeah, Mike, I absolutely agree. Well, that's the way it used to be. This is the weird thing. So in the 80s, right, adverts for smoking were everywhere. Everyone wanted you to smoke. They banned them off TV in the 80s, but you could still have cigar ads and pipe tobacco, weirdly, but you couldn't have cigarettes, right? But there was still advertising everywhere. So it was in the Formula One, and it was on the billboards everywhere. But if you went gambling, there was no national lottery. There was no fixed term betting gambling things. The fruit machines were heavily regulated. I think the biggest prize they could offer was like 100 quid or something. And the betting shops, one of the rules that they used to have is that you weren't allowed to be able to see into the betting shops. So they had to have like, I think the windows were either boarded up or they had like adverts on saying, come here and gamble or something. But they weren't allowed, I don't think they were allowed to be so obvious about it. And I don't remember, and they might have existed, it just might be me misremembering things, might be the Mandela effect. But I don't remember in the 80s seeing adverts for like Ladbrokes and stuff. I don't remember that on TV. I remember seeing the Hamlet cigar ads, but I don't remember the Ladbrokes stuff. And don't forget, until the 90s, where we talk about like what advertising was allowed and what wasn't, in the 90s, lawyers started being able to advertise on TV. Lawyers. And that led to the whole injury claims bonanza of the early 2000s when everyone, someone tripped over on a bit of uneven paving and they were suing the council. And look, I know people who have been really badly affected by stuff like this, but having done all the travels I've done, I'm like, oh, fuck off. Like, seriously, look where you're going. It's not it's not the council's job to be making sure you don't fall down a fucking hole. Because, like, here in the UK, if there is a hole in the ground, it's got to have a barrier around it, it's got to be well lit, it's got to have reflectors on it, and it's got to say, warning, there's a hole in the ground. But you walk around other places, walking around in Panama or somewhere, there'll just be a big hole. Just be a massive hole, like a massive hole in the pavement where there's no paving slab. It's just a hole with water in it. I don't know how deep it is, but you've got to keep your wits about you. And there's no idea of like you fall down that hole because you've had a couple, and then I can sue. I can claim on that. And I agree that there are certain circumstances where, say, if you're in a restaurant and there's some water on the floor that's not mopped up, which should be a priority, and you slip on it and you say, look, that's out of order, and the restaurant should be insured against that. I get that, but like I think we took it too far. I think we took it way too far to the point where it was like, if you injure yourself in any way, there must be someone who will pay. And it's like, sometimes you just have an accident, you just fall over, you just trip over. It's not necessarily the fault of the whatever place you're in. And yeah, I do find that amusing. Like in the UK, we expect like completely flat pavements and completely flat roads and no potholes and all this, and you get to another country and it's just like driving through all these makes you slow down though, doesn't it? We are used to things like accessible for wheelchair ramps and bathrooms in North America. Holes are very noted, says Anne. Yeah, Annie. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's something where yes, if there is a hole and people can't get around, then yeah, there should be someone who has to pay for that, or someone who has to come and sort that out so people can get around it, or maybe one of those plastic covers is put on so you can actually roll over. But one of the bigger issues we've got in this country is people parking on the pavement. I've got friends who are in wheelchairs and like you're going down the street and I can't go down this one because all the cars are on the pavement and there's just no room for someone in a wheelchair to get past. So you gotta roll an extra bloody half a mile for the cars. For the cars! Don't get me started on cars again. I go off on one. Paul, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. That's very kind of you. Interesting story in the Eye. It seems Putin had cyber surveillance office in London. Sounds like something he would do. Sounds like something that our security services would allow Putin to get away with. There you go. Mike says betting shops didn't have furniture, TVs, carpet. That's very true. And yeah, Nick says it's because the lawyers take the majority of the money. But we didn't have that same sort of culture until lawyers were allowed to advertise on TV. Been injured, not your fault. Give us a ring, and we'll take everyone to court. And a lot of cases, like the insurance companies or whoever paid out because it was just a case of, I'll make this annoying lawyer go away, give them a few quid. But what that meant was the insurance premiums for the rest of us just went through the fucking roof. Especially if you drive. Like I remember, my last car was a Nissan Micra. Show me age here. Back in the 2000s, and it cost buttons to buy. Like, I think it was 250 quid to buy the car, but the insurance on it was more than that. Like, the insurance cost more than the car, and that's because, well, there's various reasons. The other thing is like young nepo babies being given Ferraris by their parents and then wrapping it around a lamppost in their first drive of it. But yeah, the other components, but that is a big one. It's just people making injury claims every 5 seconds. All those cars crammed together allow one more car to park. Yeah. I've never been in a betting shop either. Few Grand National bets do online. There is no win, no fee culture in There isn't a no win, no fee culture in Scotland, says the Chibs. Has there been any word from Farage about the massive fire in Clacton last night? Oh, no, I didn't know. There's been a massive fire in Clacton. Let's look this up. Fire Clacton. I'm sure he'll say something. Bloody hell. Homes evacuated. Refuge centre set up. 70 residents were evacuated in their homes. Oh, well, the local MP could put them up, couldn't he, in his mansion? Someone left a comment on the show. We had a lot of comments on the Friday show, me and Phil, because obviously me and Phil were arguing, and everyone loves it when we have a healthy debate. And there were a few people in the chat, in the comments. Some people left some really good comments. Some people left some really daffy ones. But there was one that was particularly daffy, talking about how the Tories and Labour are the establishment and Farage isn't. And I'm just like, oh my God. Seriously, this is what you're saying. This is the route you're going down, is it? Okay. Farage, privately educated, worked in the City of London, multi-millionaire, flies around on a private jet, has a Coots bank account, famously has a Coots bank account. He wants everyone to know he's got a Coots bank account. He hawks gold for a living, and yet he's one of us. He's one of us. He goes on the Boxing Day hunt, but he's one of us. Do you know what I mean? Like, just the way people are taking in, is is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for that person that they can't see through Farage's bullshit. But yeah, some people do. Kirsty says, same, never step foot in a bookies. That's the best way to do it. I went to Las Vegas once, and I didn't gamble. Just the house always wins. I mean, what's the point? From a mathematical point of view, what's the point? I mean, if you're gambling with someone else's money, if you've embezzled some money from the company that you work for, or, whatever, but with your own money, and I don't find it that entertaining to lose money. I just find it frustrating. Some people go, oh, well, it's worth it for the entertainment value, and I'm like, eh. But I saw in some of the casinos. I didn't gamble, but I think we went in one to get some food, and there was just like rows of old people at those fruit machines, and they were just pulling the lever like this over and over again, and just like zombie state doing this, and it was just, yeah. I once worked as a camera op on a short film here in Liverpool, and I filmed at a bingo hall. And I'm sure people enjoy bingo, and I'm not having a go at people who enjoy bingo and it's an outlet and they go out, once a week and they go down the gala bingo or whatever. But it just didn't look like fun to me. It just did not look like. And look, football in the middle of winter doesn't look fun to me. Running around in your shorts when it's freezing cold, that doesn't look fun to me. But yeah, it was like all these like rows of people at tables, and they all had sort of the head down like this, or resting their arm, the head on their arm like this, right? And they had these big dabbers, and they were just, and the numbers were. It wasn't like, when you have like bingo at a holiday place at Pontins or something, it's like two fat ladies, 88, the Kelly's Eye, number one. That's what it wasn't. It was just literally 47. 55, 13, 20, and it was just, I know these people like dabbing, and they all had like loads of sheets. You didn't just have like one sheet or whatever. You had like loads. You had to check, is there a 20, is there a 20, and they dabbed the 20. And it was just, I don't know. Some people enjoy it, so I'm not going to knock it. And, I always feel like if you're not hurting anyone, then go with God. But it just looked like horrible to me. It looked like accounting. It looked like forced accounting. Check these numbers are correct. Do we have to? Not really. It's pretty quiet because they lost all their money or being dodgy, says Trip. Sarah says, every car should be like mine, have a front bumper lower than most curbs. If I tried to park on the pavement, I'd leave my bumper behind, says Sarah. Yeah, fair enough. And Graham will. What's this, Sarah? Graham will be able to spot a reflux soon when Farage gets the gullible to buy his shirts. Joanna says, I despise bingo. My mother got addicted to it, blew her pension in 2 hours, then had to bail her out. Not fun times. Got her unhooked though. I'm sorry to hear that, Joanna. I mean, I'm lucky in a way that I've not had anyone in my life that I know of who's gone down a route of gambling addiction. But like I say, I don't want to. There might be someone watching this who really enjoys going to bingo. It's just, it's just really not for me. Just really not for me. I don't really get it. I don't get it. I sort of, it's like, it's like anything. Just have a game of cards with your mates is very different from online poker. Just playing this game against strangers where you don't know them, and you're not having a laugh, you're not getting, a drink, or not having like snacks in the table. I don't know. I just find it a bit weird. Speaking of Scousers, Barry Sloane for James Bond. Is that your recommendation, or has Barry Sloane been announced? And flap those bingo wings for luck. Anne says, into casinos for the air conditioning. Oh yeah, Annie, I think that's why we went in. Maybe, I don't know, it was the middle of winter, it was the middle of December, but it's still quite hot. It gets cold in the desert though. Twice in Vegas and we did not gamble. Shows, shops and food. Oh, do you know what, I tried to mute my mic then. I thought I pressed the mute button and I don't know if it worked. Did anyone hear me sneeze then? If you did, I may apologise. I was interested immediately with bingo. Bored, says Annie. Yeah, That's the way I feel. I'm just like, "Oh, okay." But some people enjoy it. Look, some people enjoy video games that I would never enjoy in a million years. But you know, Pete Denkat recommendation. Joanna says, what I don't like is they promote bingo as completely safe and a little bit of fun. It's not. It has the same potential like any other gambling. Yeah, really good point, Joanna. And like I say, I thought it wasn't fun. Like I had to get this footage of people, gambling. I had to zoom in on the stamps and get nice shots of the stabber hitting the piece of paper with the numbers on. And it was, oh my God. It's like filming accounting. Filming someone doing the accounts. Silent sneeze mode successfully activated. Yes. It's just that I'm using my travel mic because it's a lot smaller and lighter. My mic, the one I've got at home, is 1.5 kilograms. It's ridiculous. Like you have it in your backpack. That's like half your weight of your backpack. It's crazy. It's crazy. Diz says no, it worked. Oh, good. That's good to know. Good to know you got a silent sneeze. So I'm going to be back tonight. I'll be doing a show, probably doing a stateside show tonight about what happens today with Trump and the European leaders and Zelensky raking through the coals of what happens today about 1 o'clock. So I'll be on tonight. Probably about 9 o'clock. I'll try and do it. And if you'd like to join me for that, you are very welcome to do so. Otherwise, I will be back tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And all this week, doing the old morning brew. And one thing that you should know as well is that on Friday, I might be a guest on the Friday Night Social, but I won't be running it. Our friend Mike Dix has kindly agreed to run the... he's watching this now. He's going, did I agree to that? He's kindly agreed to host the Friday Night Social this week. And so, because I've got good things to go to. Sorry. Would it be Brennan or Mikey with you? I don't know yet. Facts, we've got to sort that out. We will sort it. Don't you worry. It might just be me. It might just be me on my own. I don't know. Anyway, so Racing Stripes says Trip. Hee. Reagan Elite at 11 a.m. Yes. So if you head over to Reagan Elite's channel in 40 minutes time and go and say hello to Reagan for me. Say hello from me. Okay, so I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks very much. Oh, we just got a super chat in from Veg Pie. Thank you. Apparently, Zelensky's translates his surname as Zelensky with 2 Y's, but isn't offended by other spellings. So that's the way he spells it himself. That's absolutely fine. That's, and thank you very much to Veg Pie for that. It's it's important to get people's names right. I do get it. Like I get a bit miffed when people spell my name wrong, especially in like an email or something, when my name's in the email and they spell it the Greemy way, or they spell it with an E on the end or something like that. I'm like, why are you spelling my name wrong? But Catherine's got it worse than me because no one can spell Catherine because there's like 17 different variations of the spelling of Catherine and no one's going to get it right first time. But yeah, so I'm kind of lucky in a way. But if you got a name like Mike, there's not many other ways of spelling Mike. It's just Mike, innit? So Tom. There's no other way of spelling Tom, is there? But yeah, Graham can be up for grabs. And also, Americans don't say Graham correctly. They say gram, as in graham crackers, as in a gram, a unit of measurement, a gram. Which is okay. I guess it's just the way they say it. There's an army in DC worrying, says Bad Fairy. Yes, it is. America is fucked. And yeah, I've been saying this for a while. I can't see a way out at the moment, except for the way out that we can't talk about. I can't see any legal way out at the moment for the America, for the predicament that it's in. I really can't. It's grim. It's grim. The Chib says, I am also a Graham and can concur. The extra E annoys me. Yeah, it's just, I mean, it gets to a point where you're right. It is something like basic respect to get someone's name right. And, the worst that you could possibly do is dead naming someone is when they've changed their name and then you keep calling them by their old name. Yeah. But that happens with people who get married and they change their surname, but then you continue to call them by their name that you've always known them by. And it's like, no, that's not my name anymore. You're like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. Anyway, so bye, sweeties. See you tonight, says Bad Fairy. Oh, see you tonight as well, Bad Fairy. And thank you for being good on our channel. Elle says, my old manager had the surname Dobble. Hilarious. The post arrived and it with it written Doble. Like, oh, I see. So like it was like noble, but it looks like double. It looks like, God, English is a freaky language. Why can't it be phonetic like Spanish? I don't know. Anyway, so I'll get going. I'll thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for keeping this channel afloat. And until next time, give us a like on the way out, please, if you would be so courteous. And until next time, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.